So very recently, I had a bit of a rediscovery with The Skulls. I had never seen these films at all, and I actually completely forgot about them entirely. And then I saw the name, sound familiar, and then I looked at the poster, and I'm like, I totally remember seeing this at the video store. Realized that Paul Walker was in it. Had forgotten about that too, and they just seemed like really cool kind of B movies that I would definitely be interested in the plot of. And they're basically really, really of their time, early 2000s films. I think the first one was made in 2000, actually. And looking up a little bit of the plot, we have to do with like conspiracies, which I'm all over. And anything that has to do with conspiracies and mysteries and stuff like that. I'm all about that shit. So even if they're low budget, which I expected them to be, the posters really give me like a butterfly effect kind of vibe. The one with frig, I'm blanking on his name now. Aaron Anthony. Why am I blanking on his name? Anyway, you know what I'm talking about, the early 2000s Butterfly Effect film, which turned into a trilogy as well. But this was really cheap. I paid like 7 Canadian dollars. Ashton Kutcher, there you go. I paid like 7 Canadian dollars for this, and like I said, they're first time watches for me, so I decided I'm going to talk about them on the channel. So, starting with The Skulls, which I watched yesterday. Like I said, I mean, I do not disagree with anybody who hates these films. And I don't blame it being 9% on Rotten Tomatoes, even though I follow IMDb more these days. But yeah, what we have going on here is we have the lead character. Paul Walker is not he's not the lead character. He's kind of like a supporting role, but Joshua Jackson plays your star. And looking him up, I've seen him in a couple things, but he's the main guy of the film. He goes to I'm gonna forget the name of the school that they go to. There's this university, and there's this actual like I don't know how realistic the film portrays it, but there are secret societies in certain universities in North America. Now, do they go to the extremes that this film does? Well, I would be shocked if they do, because I'm watching this film and I'm like, dear God, this is so far fetched. The shit that these secret societies are able to do, it's absolutely ridiculous. It takes the whole like fraternity thing to a whole new level, and it's not a fraternity. It's like the opposite of fraternity, because fraternities are publicly known and you boast about being in fraternities, where this is like top secret underground shit going on. But Joshua Jackson's character, he's in a rowing club. So is Paul Walker's character. They're both rowers, and so Joshua Jackson, he plays Luke. Paul Walker plays Caleb, and then we have this other character who comes into the story and is a main part of the story named Will, and Will and Luke are roommates. And right off the bat, Luke gets a phone call closer to the beginning of the film, which is the people in this cult thing. And he's given instructions to like, has like 40 seconds to get to a payphone, and then from the payphone, he has like 20 seconds to get to another phone. And it's just ridiculous, them like him chasing these phone calls around. And then he gets to this one room, and there's this cup of water that says drink me, because you would just trust whatever's in that glass of water, apparently. And he chugs it down, passes out. What are you to expect, obviously? Wakes up in a coffin, and they're in like this underground layer that looks like the Phantom of the friggin' Opera. There's like water around it, and there's those candles on the wall kind of thing. And a bunch of kids, like university kids, wake up in these coffins, and then they get up, and then there's these like people in cloaks and everything, and it's just like really, really, because this shit could be hidden from like on university campus. I'm totally buying that. All right. I mean, they could have toned it down just a little bit and made it more realistic, but the concept of it too, like that's the thing. The concept of these secret, you know, cabals or whatever you want to call it, that may or may not exist. They probably do, but like I said, much more toned down in real life. Like there's this opening credits thing in the opening credits that like gives text, and it's saying like that at least 3 presidents have been known to have been in this secret society in whatever university that it takes place. But yeah, you got corny music through this entire thing. What happens is I'm going to be talking some spoilers in this film because these films are already pretty old. So that's the basic gist of it. But I'll from here on out start talking about some reveals and stuff. So if you don't want to hear anything else, you can shut this off and go watch the film if you haven't first. But it's not like a really popular film and it didn't do well with critics or anything. But anyways, the character Will that I was talking about, who's roommates with Luke, um, he starts investigating and he starts diving way too much into this secret sect that he shouldn't do. And I don't care how much I disbelieve or how much I like think something is bullshit. I'm afraid to dive deep into these kind of conspiracy things and like dark web shit. I won't even touch. I don't want to like fall into something that I can't escape from because like I'm the kind of guy that like if I walk into a room and I start seeing sketchy shit that I probably don't want to be a part of, I just 180 that shit and I get the hell out of there because I don't want to get shot in the head for seeing something or landing on something that I shouldn't be landing on. So this guy starts investigating everything. He's taking pictures. He's kind of looking, finding the rooms and everything. And he ends up in a place he shouldn't. And then Caleb comes in, and he even broke into Caleb's car at one point. And he, you find him in his room hung. And then you're like, well, of course, the friggin' cabal people, the big elders, staged this hanging kind of thing, and the cops are investigating it. They're questioning Luke. Then there's reveals that like because there's footage that videotaped the fight between Caleb and Will, and it turns out that Will didn't die right away because he fell off this pillar and broke his neck, but he was still alive. So the footage filming it shows that a higher leader in the cabal, or I'm just going to say cabal because I'm used to that word, but you know what I'm talking about, this cult thing, an elder of in the cult, in the skulls, what they call it, breaks his neck more because the guy's still alive and they could have called an ambulance, but to keep everything covered up they just staged it as a suicide and whatnot. So it turns out one of the police that was investigating this thing is part of the skulls as well. And Luke, your main character, starts getting paranoid as fuck during the third act. And you have scenes where, he's starting to be chased down, but then he turns the games around on them and he starts to steal evidence and go to the investigating police stuff. But like I said, at least one cop is in on it, or not in on it, but like he's part of the skulls, so he's part of it, covering everything up and staging the crime and everything, and playing pieces on the puzzle board kind of thing. And yeah, there's this love interest too. I forgot to talk about her. She's a really beautiful girl. Her name is Chloe, and she's the love interest of Luke, and she starts to help him with everything. And Luke is like, I really don't want to get you involved in this, and it's like kind of too late, buddy. But she's all about it because she's so in love with him and everything. And there's this really funny scene where she like pretends to break up with him, so it seems like she wants nothing to do with him. But then right away he goes to her room, and you find out that she was just pretending to break up with him. And then they have this like shower sex scene. It was really funny. Lots of early 2000s tropes. This film is like a staple of early 2000s. It's it's a gem like that, and it's too bad I missed out on it then, because I would like this would have been a nostalgia piece if I didn't. But it really gives me Butterfly Effect vibes. Just the way the film is shot, like Butterfly Effect is way better than this thing is. But I am excited to watch the 2 and 3, and I'm a completionist, so I always like, watching franchises from beginning to end. But I can't say it wasn't a fun film. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and everything is far-fetched to the max, and you got, like, cheesy, soundtracks and stuff like that. Like, a lot of the grungy rock alternative bands that were huge in the early 2000s, this film is full of them. And young Paul Walker in here too. Rest in peace to him. But yeah, it's a fun film. It's a really, really silly film. It's silly as hell. But like I said, can't say I did not have a good time. And yeah, I'm wondering how how much lower of a budget the next two get into, because as far as I'm concerned, I think those were all direct to video, the whole trilogy. So that's really all I got to say on it for now. Good time, but not a how do you say it? Not a It's not a perfect film by any means. It it you can feel its quality, but it's not boring. It's not boring to say the least. Yeah, that's the Skulls from the year 2000, and we'll be getting to the other two soon. Subscribe to Morgan Film Fan if you'd like to listen to my voice or if you like my film reviews. I'll be back with more soon, so stay tuned for those. Check out what's on the channel already. Stay tuned for what's coming. Until next review, have a good one. Take care and cheers.